Alright guys, so we have a complete CRUD application now, but I want to implement flash messaging so that when we do something we can get a little message or alert that says it's been done or there's an error or something like that. So we're going to use two different things here. We're going to use Express Session, which basically just allows you to use sessions in Express. This is used for a lot of different things. It's going to be needed for our authentication in the future anyways. And then we're also going to install something called Connect Flash. Okay, and what this allows us to do is before we redirect, we can actually say request.flash and give it basically an identifier if we want it to be like a success message or an error message, and then the actual message. And then we can display it in our template. So we're going to have to do a couple different things here to get this working. We're going to add some global variables for our messages to be held in so that we can output them in our template as well. So let's go ahead and install these two things. So let's go ahead and stop the server and clear this out, and we'll say npm install. We want express-session, and we also want to install connect-flash. Okay, make sure you do the -- save as well. Alright, so now those two things should be installed. If you go to package.json, you should see Connect Flash and Express Session. Alright, so let's go back to our app.js file, and we're going to bring these things in. So I'm going to go up here. I should have a semicolon there. And let's say const flash, and set that equal to require connect flash. Okay, and then we're also going to bring in session. So we'll say const session equals require, and that's going to be express-session. Alright, so we have these two things. Now we're going to have to do a couple things. Express Session has its own set of middleware that we need to add. So if we go to the, let's see, yeah, right here. So app.use session. What I'm going to do is grab that, and we're going to put this, we'll go down right under where we put the method override middleware, and we'll paste that in. Now the secret can be anything you want. I usually just use secret, and then resave, we will actually want to set that to true, and then save uninitialized should be true, and then we don't need this cookie right here. Alright, so that's our middleware for Express Session. Alright, so for Connect Flash, what we want to do is just go ahead and say app.use, and we want to use flash. Okay, this flash being what we brought in up here, right here. So we're just calling that middleware. Alright, now what we want to do is set some global variables for our messages. So we're going to go right here and let's say global variables. So this is just going to be another piece of middleware. So app.use. Okay, remember we went over the middleware a few sections ago. I'm going to put a function in here, and this is going to take in request, response, and next. And then to set a global variable, we can just say res.locals dot, and then whatever you want to call the variable. I'm going to call this success_msg. All right, and then what we're going to do is set this equal to request.flash, and then success_msg. Okay, so whatever we set for a success message will get put in this variable, and we can output it into our template. So we're going to have it for success message. We also want one for error message. So we'll say res.locals.error message, and we'll change this to error message. Okay, I also want one for just error. So res.locals.error, and we're going to set that to request.flash, error, and this is actually for later on when we start to use Passport and we want to output errors like, you know, user not found or something like that, or password not right. And then let's see, I think that's it for now, and then we'll just call next, meaning that we want to call the next piece of middleware. Alright, so that's our global variables. So let's go ahead and save this. And then what I want to do is when we have to output a message or an error, I want to create a partial for that. So let's go into our views and then partials and create a new file, and we're going to create _msg for message dot handlebars. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're first going to check to see if there's any success messages. So if success _msg, so if there are, then we want a div, and we're going to use the Bootstrap class alert and alert danger. I'm sorry, alert success, because this is just a regular message. And inside here, inside the div, we'll have access to that success message global variable. All right, so the success message, this is going to be available because of this, because we set this. All right, now we also want to check for error message. So we'll copy this, paste that in, and we're going to check for error message. If there is one, let's change this to danger to make it a red alert, and then change this to error message. And that should do it. We'll save this file. And then what I want to do is I want to stick this partial right in the main layout. So we'll go to our layouts main handlebars. We'll go right above the body, and we're going to put in that partial. So _msg, just like that. And we'll save. All right, so let's make sure our app still runs. Okay, so it looks good. Now let's try and add a flash message. Let's say when we delete a message, we want it to say it's been deleted. So we'll go to our app.js file and go to where we have our delete. So at the bottom where we have app.delete. Okay, right here. Right before we redirect, what we're going to do is we're going to say res.flash. Okay, I'm sorry, request.flash. And then in here we want to specify if it should be success message or error message. So this would be a success message. All right, and then the text I want is just, let's say, video idea removed. Okay, so let's cross our fingers and let's test it out. We'll go ahead and delete, and there we go, video idea removed. Awesome. So let's also do it when we add a video. So I'm just going to copy this line right here, and we'll go up to let's see, app.post ideas. So this is when we process the add form. So right before we redirect here, we'll say video idea added. Okay, and when we update it, so this edit form process, the app.put, right before we redirect, we'll say video idea updated. All right, so let's go ahead and add a video or add an idea. And let's say HTML5 canvas, video on the canvas element, and we'll submit, and we get video idea added. And if we edit it, we'll just put, I don't know, an exclamation, submit, video idea updated. Now if you want to add the Bootstrap code to make this dismissible so you can exit out, that's fine. Otherwise you just have to reload. You just, it'll stay there until you leave the page. Alright guys, so this is a full operational CRUD application, but we do have one huge issue, and that's that we can't have multiple users because, I mean, everyone can add a video, but everyone can edit and delete everyone else's video ideas, and they can see them. So what we're going to do in the next section is we're going to implement Passport, which is an authentication library, and it's just awesome, and it's very powerful. It's a little difficult. It's actually very difficult because there's so many things you can do. You can have local strategies where you can store your username and password in a local database, which is what we're doing for this app. But then you can also implement like Facebook authentication, Google OAuth, which is what we're doing in the next project, and just a bunch of other things. You can log in with GitHub. There's a whole bunch of strategies you can use. So that's what we're going to do in the next section. We're going to start to work with authentication, and we're going to change this application all around so that users can log in and they can create their ideas, and only they can see their own ideas. All right, so I will see you in the next section.